Good morning, everyone. Got some nice hot tea going here. And the goal for today is to retrace my steps and see if I could find the key to my truck. I think I know what happened. I had the key in my front right pocket, and at some point on the hike I took my headlamp off, stuck it in my pocket, and when I got to the area where I shot the foot of that pine tree, took off my backpack and then pulled the headlamp out of my pocket. I think with it came the key. And I was standing on a pretty loose sandy slope, so you could drop something in that sand, you're not going to hear it. So I'm guessing that's probably where it is. And there's another area too where there's a pretty significant scramble, and that's another possible area where I've fallen out. But there's a lot more rock and stuff there, so I think I would have heard that. So I'm going to head back to that area, but it's still really dark. It's still quite a ways before sunrise. I'll enjoy the tea, make myself a little breakfast in a little bit, and in the meantime, just kind of wait for the sun to come up a little bit before heading in there and see if I can find that key, because that would be awesome. So the great news, I found my key, and it was right where I had dropped my pack, and sitting right there on top, which is great. And as I was over here, I found something else which is really cool. I found this dead manzanita here with this really cool cactus growing right in the middle. It's just cradled right in there. And I have my A7R4 with me and shot some photos with it, but I think this is a sort of subject where I really need to lug my 8x10 back in here. And I know from last time it's a little bit of an effort, but this is a really cool photo. And it's just perfectly just nestled right in there. So pretty excited about finding that. But I'm gonna spend a little more time wandering further up this canyon and see if I can find anything else. One of the things I've learned through the years is the importance of getting out, putting in the legwork, and just constantly looking for interesting subjects. On average on these trips, I usually put in maybe 15 to 20,000 steps a day, just wandering and checking places out. In this case, this is an area I've been to before, but a few days ago, these leaves are all green. So now they're changing color and starting to fall on the ground there. So I've already walked through this passage before, even on this trip, but the things are changing so much and changing all the time here in the autumn. Keep my eye out and see what else I could find. Well, I am back at camp now, and it felt so great to find the key. It was just so surreal just seeing it sitting there, and it was at the exact spot where I took off my backpack. And I think what had happened is, I had the key in my right pocket, and also I had stuffed my headlamp in there, and I think when I pulled the headlamp out of my pocket, I think it pulled the key, it just landed in the soft sand, so I didn't even hear it fall. But I was really, really happy to find it, because these things are like $300, so really, really happy to find that. It was also really cool to find that subject with the manzanita, and then the cactus right in the middle. It's just kind of cradling it. And there's definitely some story to be said with that photo. But if I'm going to shoot that, I need to go back at about the same time tomorrow morning. The weather looks like it'll be pretty good for it. I'll need to really pare down my kit quite significantly with my 8x10 kit, and just bring maybe a 240 and a 300 lens, some film holders, a camera, just really just pare it down, because I really need to reduce the weight, because
not only is there a big scramble, but also there's a narrow slot canyon. You have to chimney your way up a little bit. It's awkward if you have a really big pack on. So looking forward to going back there. And now one other slight hesitation with that area is that there's definitely mountain lions that live in the area. I found some skeletal remains of 2 bighorn, and they were some relatively small, young bighorn sheep. And so that's why I don't like venturing into those areas before sunrise or after sunset, because that's where they live. That's their home. So gotta respect the wildlife, but I'm really hoping to get that photo. The plan for the rest of the day, I'm just relaxing here, having some lunch, and then I am going to hop on my bike and head up to the main canyon. I found this really cool cottonwood tree the other day. It's a dead cottonwood tree. It's, you know, laying down on the ground, and it's kind of dry grass coming out. It's just a really cool pattern. And I do think it's kind of interesting how I came here for fall color, yet I've taken pictures of, you know, pine tree, looking to hopefully photograph a cactus with some dead manzanita around it, and then like a dead cottonwood. But these are the sort of photos that have a story to tell. It's not just about bright colors and everything else. But really happy about how things went today, and enjoy my little relaxing time here, then get things packed up and head up canyon on my bike. So hopefully get a little film exposed today. But it was definitely a really good day. Well, I've arrived at my shooting location for the day. I bicycled into the main canyon. And you can see I got my camera set up here, got a normal lens. I found this really cool cottonwood. It's all kind of twisted there, and decided to go with a vertical composition just to sort of emphasize a tree, and I chose a camera angle that has it where the branch kind of enters in and kind of winds through there. And what I need to do is I need to wait for the sun to drop back behind the sandstone over there. That way I can have some nice, soft, subdued light, because at that point, the light's gonna be coming from all the sandstone up there. So some nice reflected light. So got another probably half hour or so, and I should have some pretty decent light. All right, they're gonna be 2 seconds, F45. Nice and still. Well, that worked out pretty well. I ended up exposing 4 sheets of Velvia 50, which is quite a few sheets of film, but there was some wind movement in some of them, and one of them, when I put the dark slide in, it felt a little weird, so I thought maybe there might be a little light leak or something weird. But I did do some movements on the camera here, some rear movements to enlarge the foreground, which really gives the perception of using a more wide-angle lens, even though I'm using a normal lens. It also helps emphasize that area, so hopefully that draws you into the image a little bit more. But also, as you might hear, there are some buses and cars and stuff going by in the background. So even though it might seem like I'm off in the middle of nowhere, no, I'm just right alongside the road. And that's one of the things that's really awesome about Zion. You can find so many great things that are very, very accessible. It's been a long day, and glad I was able to expose some film, and it was certainly great to find the key this morning. I think I might be heading back there tomorrow to see about photographing that area with the manzanita. When you get things packed up, head back to camp, load some film, make some dinner. I want to thank everyone for watching. We'll see you around next time.
The light was a bit hazy that evening, and although I didn't know it at the time, I later learned it was wildfire smoke all the way from California. This thin layer of smoke killed the warm reflected light, making the scene very drab and reminiscent of an overcast day. Overall, I'm quite satisfied with the composition, but I know this scene holds more potential with better light. Although I didn't get the photo I was after on this trip, I'll definitely revisit this subject in the years to come. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll see you around next time. If you enjoy this ad-free and clickbait-free content and want to help me live my dream, a voluntary contribution of just $24 a year helps keep my gas tank full and my film freezer stocked. For more information on how to support me
in my work, please visit the donation section of my website at benhorn.com/donate. I also have prints in my portfolio box set available on my website. You can find a direct link down below in the show notes. Thanks in advance for your support.